I sold 102 items this week. It wasn't quite conventional though, the way that I went about some of those sales, so if you want to learn more, stay tuned.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body tremors for your neck.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park and I am a part-time reseller on reselling platforms like Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace, and it's something that I do on the side of my full-time job as a high school choir teacher and while raising two kids, doing stuff at church, being married, all that kind of stuff. So it is a really great side hustle if you've been looking for one, just kind of finding, the cheapest possible used new clothing that you can in your area and then selling it online to make some money. So that's what I've been doing for the past 3-ish years, and I've been sharing about that journey on my YouTube channel for a little over 2 years now. So if reselling is a topic that you're interested in, and if you enjoy what sold videos just like this, or thrift hauls, or tips and tricks videos regarding reselling, this is a channel that you'll want to subscribe to. So you can go ahead and click that little button. Is it there? Is it there? I don't know. And make sure that you hit the bell notification as well so that you're notified every time I upload new content. But today we're going to be doing a what sold video, which means I'm going to be sharing with you everything that sold for me last week, including where I got the item, how much I was able to make off of the item, etc., etc. So if you're excited to see all 102 items, just joking, I'm not going to share every single item with you, but if you want to hear about my sales, hit that like button and let's get into it. All right, so starting with Monday, which was May 3rd, I started off with a bundle sale of items that I was just super excited to get rid of because I had been sitting on them for a decent amount of time. The first item was by the brand Abound. That, I believe, is a Nordstrom house brand, and it's usually found at like Nordstrom Rack. I'm sure they sell it at Nordstrom too, but it doesn't retail for a lot to begin with. And it was this black off-the-shoulder mini dress with pockets in a size small. I had picked that up at a local consignment store for under $1 because they let me shop in bulk. I was just stuffing like these big black garbage bags filled to the brim with clothes. And so my cost of goods per item really came out to less than $1. And then I had that item for 199 days before it sold. So definitely not like the fastest selling brand ever. The next item to sell was by the brand Forever 21. And it was this pair of high-waisted distressed cuffed denim shorts in a size 24. These had been listed for 121 days and I had gotten them for free from someone at church. So that was actually pure profit for those shorts. So the bundle sold for $25. I made $20 on those two items and my actual profit after fees and cost of goods was $19.20. And just so you know, from here on out, when I talk about my profit per sale, it is after I've already taken out the shipping discounts, or if I have to pay for shipping, after I've accounted for fees and my cost of goods. So it's really what makes its way into my bank account. The next thing to sell, I was super excited about because it was just something that we had at home. It was this Ergo Baby toy play baby carrier with like adjustable straps. So this was something that had been gifted to my daughter maybe when she turned like 3 or something, and she used it to carry around like little dolls and stuff, just like she saw me doing with her little brother. But obviously, she's a little bit older now and she doesn't play with it. And so I went ahead and listed it. I listed it for $15. It sold the day that I listed it, and so I made $12 on that item. And I have another sale coming up in a little bit that was also something that we just had lying around our house, and that was probably my biggest sale of the week. So make sure that you stay tuned for that. But over on eBay, I sold this Chico's Travelers teal asymmetrical tunic in a size 1. Chico's does use vanity sizing. I don't remember off the top of my head what the US sizing conversion of that would be, but just keep that in mind if you ever find Chico's. It sold for $20 with free shipping, and it was promoted at 1%. So after I pay for shipping, after fees, and after my cost of goods, which was under $1 because it was from that same consignment store as the Abound dress, I made a profit on that top of $11.73. Not bad for Chico's. And then on Facebook Marketplace, I sold another pair of, you guessed it, Keen sandals. I don't know what it is about Keen, but it just sells so well on Facebook Marketplace. It was this pair of tan hiking sandals for men in a size 11. They sold for $30 and they paid for shipping. And I had $4.66 into those from a local thrift store. And so my profit on those Keens was $23.39. They were also like pretty dusty, but I still got, $23 out of them. Super happy about that. And then over on Thredup, I had one sale, and it was this White House Black Market green halter top, but it had like all this, bejeweled stuff on the front, on the chest. It was in a size extra, extra small. It's sold on Thredup for $39.99. And so my payout was $10, which I was super happy with because I have a hard time moving White House black market. And on top of that, it was an extra, extra small. Thank you, Thredup. Moving on to Tuesday, which was May 4th, I had one Poshmark sale, and it was this Brooks Brothers Regent plaid button-down shirt in a size small. I had this listed for 53 days, but that was relisted. So it was actually listed for much longer than that. And I believe I got like a $10 offer on it. I countered a few times. The guy basically said,
look, 13 is the highest I'm willing to go.
And I was like, fine, take it, because it had been in my closet for a while. I don't remember exactly how much I had into this. I'm going to assume like $4 because that's the price of shirts at my Goodwill. And so I made a profit on that item probably of like $6.05, which is not what we're going for, but also those small sales, they add up, and it's always a wonderful feeling to get rid of old inventory. And then on Mercari, I sold this Lucy, which is like an activewear brand, blue tennis skirt in a size large. This sold for $15 on Mercari, and I had 80 cents into it since it's from that consignment store. So after fees and all that good stuff, I made a profit of $11.96. Moving on to Wednesday, which was May 5th, I actually didn't have any Poshmark sales, but I did have a great 4-piece bundle on eBay, and it went to a viewer named Michelle, because Michelle knows that I am on a journey right now of no sourcing, no thrifting until I sell 500 items. And so she came over to my eBay store, bought 4 items at full price, and said, hey, I'm just trying to help you get to 500. We need more people like Michelle in the world. So Michelle, thank you so much. And I do hope that you genuinely love everything as well. So the first thing that she got was this denim jacket by The Limited. It was in this light wash, and it was in a size extra small. This I had gotten from that consignment store, and it sold for $24.99. The next thing that she got was this Anthropologie Diletta floral braided neckline sleeveless dress. This had actually sold on eBay before and been returned to me for fit. And this was something that I had purchased for myself on Poshmark, like probably when I first started selling, and it didn't really fit me the way that I liked either, and that's why I listed it. But I'm saying that I have no cost of goods into that because it had been purchased for me, and I think I did wear it once. The next thing that she got was this pink Victoria's Secret cropped pair of sweatpants in a size extra small, or they're like sweatpant leggings. And then finally, she got this pair of 9 West Grizzlio, I think that was the style name, woven braided fringe thong sandals in a 7.5. Those had actually come to me from a viewer named Kendra, and I didn't like put the 2 and 2 together that the Kendra who had sold me these shoes, and like I only bought like 2 pairs of shoes from her, but then she ended up sending me like 10 because she's awesome. But I didn't put 2 and 2 together until very recently that Kendra was the one who had also taken my YouTube course. So Kendra, if you're watching, hi, thank you so much. And I'll also link Kendra's channel down in the description below. She's on this kick right now where she's putting out daily content. So if you especially love consistency and vlog type videos and, you know, thrift hauls and all that kind of stuff, definitely check out her channel. She's wonderful. But that was from her. So Kendra, thank you so much. If you take like the amount that I paid for the 2 pairs of shoes that I, you know, initially thought I was purchasing from her, but divide it by the 10 shoes that she ended up actually sending me, then each pair of shoes came out to about $2.88. So I had $2.88 into those. And I was, believe it or not, able to fit all of those into one of those like USPS shoe boxes. And so I combined all the shipping, and then I sent her a refund of $8.82 because she had ended up paying too much for shipping. So I ended up making a profit off of those 4 items once you factor in the refund and, you know, my cost of goods and all that stuff of $70.04. And I moved 4 pieces out the door. So Michelle, you really are such a sweetheart. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. And then the last sale of Wednesday was also a 4-piece bundle, and this was a direct sale, and this was actually to a wonderful reseller friend of mine who lives in town, literally lives like 5-10 minutes away from me, and I just dropped it off. I dropped off the bundle, and she was like, oh my gosh, like this is the fastest ship time ever. And I was like, right? Like you can't beat this. So these went to Chelsea, otherwise known as Monarch Alley on YouTube and Instagram. And again, I will link her channel below as well because she is also wonderful. And I think personally, it's so cool to watch YouTube channels from people who live in the same town. Like, you know, if you find 2 or 3 resellers who live like in Chicago or 2 or 3 who live in Arizona or something, I think it's cool just to see like how different people run their reselling businesses, even when they live within, a 3-4 mile radius of each other. Chelsea and I choose to run our businesses very differently. She picks up a lot more hard goods and a lot more vintage items than I do. And I just think it's so cool and a reminder that there's enough for everyone out there. There is enough inventory out there for anyone who wants to resell. So even for just that reason alone, you should check out her channel. And like I said, it'll be linked below. But she got these 4 pieces from me, again, to help me just move out some inventory. The first one was this cabby brown ribbed sweater. This was a really cool sweater. And I picked it up at a local consignment store for $5.63. And then she got this pair of Levi's cutoff shorts. I picked these up at a Plato's Closet during like their 50% off or 75% off sale for $3.27. And I was really glad that she got those because those were kind of like upcycled. I knew someone had created cutoff shorts. And I also knew that it was a little risky, like selling shorts like that on Poshmark or something, just because, when you take a men's pants and convert it into cutoff shorts for women, sizing can be a little dicey. And Chelsea was like, I checked the measurements like 3 times because I just wanted to double check. And, a lot of buyers are not as good at checking, your description or looking at your measurements. So I'm glad that went to another reseller who really checked the sizing. And then she got this Chico's black belt with like a really cool silver buckle. This I picked up at that local consignment store for under $1. And then this Ghostbusters t-shirt in a size 2T, I believe. This was something that my son had worn. I think I got it off of Kitizen, and then I just went ahead and listed it, and she saw it, and I believe probably snagged it up for her little one. So I sold her those 4 items for a steal for $50 because honestly, I was like, I'll just give them to you. And she was like, no, I want to pay you. And I was like, okay, fine, just give me $50. And I had $9.70 into those 4 items. So I made a profit of $40.30. And my family happened to be going to this really cool store like down the street from her anyway. And it was no problem to drop the stuff off. So that was really fun. And I got to see my friend. So Chelsea, thank you. And I hope you love everything. Moving on to Thursday, which was May 6th, I had another bundle. Oh my gosh, this was like the week of bundles and it feels really good. I don't sell that many bundles, but this was a 4-piece bundle and this person just put them in a bundle, sent me an offer with those 4 items, and all I had to do was press accept. It was probably a little bit lower than what I would have said, but I was okay with it, and I'll tell you why. So the first item was this shirt by the brand Amplify. It was this white short sleeve printed button-up shirt for men in a size medium. I had gotten this in a men's Thredup rescue box, and I had about $2.65 into it, since that was the average cost of goods for everything in that box. It was listed for 99 days, and I would have given this away for free. So I probably had it listed for like $18 or something. I was okay with that bundle price being as low as it was. 1, because of this shirt. 2, the next item that sold was this Gymboree red plaid Christmas dress with a giant bow on it in a size 6. This had been listed for 149 days, and this had been my daughter. So this was the second reason why I was okay with the bundle price being as low as it was, because this was hers. I don't even think she ended up wearing it. I think I'd gotten it at one of those like pop-up consignment stores for kids. It's a little ridiculous. And so she didn't wear it. Someone else snagged it. I'm really happy about that. I probably had like $2 into it. And then the next thing to sell was by the brand C by Bloomingdale's. And the only reason I picked it up is because it was made of this like wool cashmere blend, but it was like this turtleneck and it had this really interesting kind of like ribbing detail. And that was in a size medium, but I got it at the local consignment store for under $1. And then the last thing to sell, it was this Merrill Blue Hydro hiker sandals. They were just like outdoor shoes in a size youth 7.5. That I had $1.81 into from a local thrift store. So the buyer sent me an offer of $65 for those 4 items, which like I said, I was happy to do because I was just happy to move out some of these pieces that I wasn't really excited about anyways. And we're trying to get to 500. So I made a profit on those 4 items of $46.68. And then over on eBay, I started running I think it was a 10% off sale. It was either like 10 or 12% sale. And I started making a few sales because of it, because before that, it was like a little dry on eBay. So the first thing to sell was this vintage Vera Bradley classic black quilted fabric backpack. I bought this at a local consignment store. They were running like a tag sale. And a lot of times when they're running those kinds of sales, they'll have a lot of accessories just on clearance pants for like $3 or something. So as I was checking out, you know, I had like 80 billion things at the register and it was taking them forever to ring everything up and tear off the little consignment tags. So I was just kind of poking around at the accessories and I saw that this was $3. So I was like, I'll take a shot at it. I listed it for $40, and so it sold for $36.95 with free shipping. After my cost of goods and shipping, I made a profit on that bag of $24.45. The next thing to sell was this New with Tags Champion white porthole mesh jersey with the number 7 on it. This was a sample jersey, and I knew that because it had a giant tag on it that said sample, and it was in a size large, extra large. This I had about $2 into. I picked this up probably like 2.5 years ago at a local Salvation Army that doesn't even exist anymore. They had just been given all of this inventory from a somewhat local like sports equipment store that had gone out of business. And so they had all these like random jerseys and stuff and like football pants and I don't know, like all these different things. And I bought a ton of it because I thought I was scoring big with like all this New with Tag stuff. But oh my gosh, I'm still sitting on some of that. And at this point, I just need to donate some of it. But you know how I am. Like if I take the time to list something, I just don't want to donate it. But there's like one pair of pants that I'm thinking about in particular where there was no size, no like anything on it. I don't know why I got it. Some of that stuff just needs to go. But I did finally sell this for $17.59 and I made a profit on that item of $13.31 after about, like I said, 2 years. Lord have mercy. The next thing to sell was over on Facebook Marketplace. It was this Carhartt khaki collared full zip coat in a size small, like a youth small. This thing was beat up. Like it was ripped all over the place. It was ripped so badly that you could see the insulation on the inside. There were stains all over it. Like this had gone through some stuff. And I picked it up at a local thrift store when I went. I think it was for like my Valentine's Day thrift trip. I probably shouldn't have gotten it, but it was just so cute. It was that classic Carhartt like work jacket, but for like a little boy. I mean, I think if it were for men's, it probably could have still fetched around that $25 mark. I, had very low hopes for it. So when I got a $12 offer on it, I was like, that sounds about right. That sounds fair. I only had $2.37 into it, so I made a profit on that item of $8.47. And then this day, I went to Plato's Closet with 165 pieces of clothing because we're trying to get to 500. And these were items that had been given to me for free from friends at church. These were items that I hadn't gotten around to listing yet. Just a lot of different things. I did pull maybe like, 5 or 6 things that were listed to go ahead and see if they would buy. And they ended up buying the majority of the stuff that I had pulled from, actual listings. And so that day I sold 53 items and I made a profit on those items of $119.93. And you better believe I am counting those 53 items towards my 500 count. And at the end of this video, I promise I will let you know how many items I sold because last week I forgot to tell you in that video how many items I was to 500. And a lot of you left comments being like, how many items did you sell? So I promise I will tell you at the end of this video. But on Friday, which was May 7th, I had a few really good sales in Poshmark, mainly due to the fact that it was closet clear out. So the first thing to sell was this dress by the brand Bardot. This is a pretty great brand, actually, if you ever find it. The style that you see in the pictures is really a good example of, the Bardot style, I guess you could call it. But it was this cobalt blue, the dress style name was Gemma. I think it's Gemma. It was like a lace sheath halter dress in a size 6. It was beautiful. I found it at a Plato's Closet, paid $5 for it, and I had it listed for 65 days. On Closet Clear Out, I asked the person if they'd be willing to buy it if I dropped the price to $55, and I believe they get like $3.46 off of shipping or something like that. Like it's a little bit more because the selling price is over $50. They actually get an even steeper shipping discount. And I believe if the item is like $100 or more, they get free shipping. So I don't remember where you can find that information, but there is like kind of a gradient of how much of a discount they're willing to give depending on how much the item sells for. So I believe she got $3.46 off of shipping, and I made a profit on that dress of $39. I love it. I love it so much. And that was a brand new to me brand. I just saw it, thought it was gorgeous, and looked up comps, and I was like, yep, this is coming home with me. me. The next thing to sell was this pair of Miss Me cropped jeans with like the rhinestones and stuff on the butt. You know the drill. And it was listed for 25 days after being relisted because that sucker I have had for a long time. And it sold for $32 with my closet clear out method. I believe I had it listed at $40. And it is something that I picked up at that local consignment store for under $1. So I was super excited about that. And I made $24.80 on that item. I do talk in my last YouTube video, and I will link that right here, about the power of relisting. And in that video, I share with you, why you should relist, when you should relist your stale listings, how to do it. There's like a ton of tutorial videos in there. And I also share some tools that I use to help the relisting process go faster. I personally use Seller Insight for my Poshmark listings and list perfectly for everything else. And it really just helps me like freshen up my listings if they get a little too stale. And this pair of Miss Me jeans is a prime example of that. The next thing to sell was this Gap blue cowl neck maxi dress in a size medium. This had been listed for 177 days, so this could have done with some relisting. I just hadn't gotten around to it, but it sold for $18 using my closet clear out method, and I had less than $1 into it because it was from that local consignment store where I was able to get pieces for under $1 each. And this sold to a viewer named Melanie. So Melanie, thank you so much, and I do hope you love it. I think it's a beautiful dress, and so my profit on that was $13.60. The next thing to sell was by the brand Pink Victoria's Secrets, and it was this yoga cropped pair of leggings in a size medium. These sold for $12. I got them at the local consignment store, so I had less than $1 into them, and my profit was $8.70, and that was after they were listed for 198 days. Lord have mercy. The next thing to sell was by the brand BDG, which is Urban Outfitters. It's like one of their house brands. And it was the ankle cigarette pants. They were light blue and corduroy, and they were in a size 27. These I had picked up from a friend of mine at church. She actually gave me a bunch of stuff between her and her husband, and I gave her a little bit of money for everything. So I'm going to say I had like $5 into these. They sold for $15, and so I made a profit on those of $7. Not a huge profit, but we're just trying to move stuff. BDG doesn't do horribly well for me, and I think these were like mid-rise. There wasn't anything about them that was going to demand a huge payout. The next sale was my best sale of the week, and not only that, but it was just something that had been laying around our house. I happened to be like in my, workspace, just kind of like working on inventory and stuff, and my husband came in with this little box, and he was like, I don't ever see myself wearing these. Do you want to try and sell them? And I was like, what are they? They were a pair of cufflinks by the brand Salvatore Ferragamo. He had gotten them as a gift from one of his friends when he stood in his wedding. His friend is like loaded. And my husband was like, where am I going to wear these? Like, what am I going to do with these? And I was like, okay, maybe I could get like $30 for them. Like, I'll just go ahead and list them. Comps for these were like ridiculously high, like 110, 115, some as high as like 125, 130. It was insane. And a lot were listed for like 150. So I went ahead and listed mine, I think for 150 or like 125 or something like that. But again, I don't know why. I was just like, they just seem so insignificant. I'm not going to list them that high on Facebook Marketplace. So like on Facebook Marketplace, for example, I just listed them for like $75. So I started getting a bunch of offers. I got a bunch of like $60 offers. I got one like $30 offer. And every time I got an offer, I would check comps again. And I was pretty tempted to take like a $60 offer, at one point, and I was kind of going back and forth with one person on Facebook Marketplace. I was ready to move at 65 if they just paid me through Venmo and stuff. They never did it. And then finally on this day, I got an offer of $100. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. That sounds amazing. And they were only listed for a week, so they sold really fast. I mean, it must be like cufflink season right now. Like, I don't get it. But I made a profit of $80 on those. Pure profit, because it was just laying around in our house. My husband knew he wasn't going to wear them, so that was a huge score. If you have any cufflinks lying around your house that you don't use anymore, get them listed. And then over on eBay, I had this new in the box Spun Gel, that was the brand name, body wash infused buffer in the scent Black Orchid. It was like an exfoliant cleanser. It came in a FabFitFun box. and I wasn't going to use it. So I just went ahead and listed it. I've had it for a while, but I finally got around to listing it, and I sent out offers to watchers on this item for $10.90 with free shipping. It was promoted at 1%, and so after shipping and fees, I made $5.33. That was fun. The next thing to sell was this pair of Hollister black mid-rise skinny jeans in a size 7 regular. They sold because of my sale for $15.83, and that was with them paying for shipping, and it was promoted at 1%. I got those for free from a friend at church, so I made $13.77. And then over on Mercari, I was really excited about this sale. It was this Jujubee, that was the brand name, nautical diaper bag. It was something that my sister-in-law had bought us when we were pregnant with our son. I think she actually got us like a different diaper bag and was like, if you don't like it, you can just, exchange it. She had gotten it at Nordstrom. So we went to Nordstrom to exchange it just because we knew we wanted like a backpack style bag instead of like an over the shoulder bag. And when I saw this one, I instantly fell in love with it. I just thought it was so cute, and we used it to death. There were a lot of flaws on it. Lots of like the piping is kind of ripped, and there are a lot of like marks and like tape residue from when we had like just taken masking tape and like written his name on it. Like lots of things wrong with it, but it's a good diaper bag brand. So if you ever find something by this brand, it retails for like over $100, I believe. And I just went ahead and listed mine for $25 because of the flaws. I probably could have listed it higher, but again, I just felt like bad about it being in such bad condition, but it still sold for $20. That was the offer that someone sent me on Mercari, and so I made a total of $17.12 on that bag, and I think it sold within 1 day of being listed. So that goes to show I probably could have listed it a little bit higher, but I'm just happy that someone has a great diaper bag. It still had a lot of life left in it. It just had a lot of like exterior flaws. So no cost of goods, just something that was taking up space in my house. The next thing to sell was over on Facebook Marketplace, and it was this Coach brown logo canvas leather shoulder bag. This, again, is something that just kind of appeared in my house. I have no idea how it got here. I have no idea who it's from, but it was just in my house. So I listed it for $25 because it had a lot of flaws. Like at the top, it had some like rips and stuff, and there was like a huge stain. Like it was kind of hard to see, but there was clearly a big spill or something that had happened inside this purse. It still sold for $20, and I made $18.43 on that bag. I don't remember paying money for it. I don't know. So I'm saying that I have $0 cost of goods into it. So that was pure profit. If you have things with flaws and stains and rips and whatever, if the item itself is like a pretty decent item, it can still sell. So still list it. And then on Saturday, which was May 8th, I had all Lucky Brand sales on Poshmark, like 3 Lucky Brand items. It was crazy. So the first item to sell was this pair of Lucky Brand metallic strap cork wedge heels in a size 7. Those had been listed for 208 days, and I had them listed for $15. I had $8.53 into those because I had gotten them on Poshmark to resell, and I only got those because the person who was selling them to me had given me a great deal on like a bunch of stuff. But it did come out, my average cost of goods did come out to $8.53, so I made a profit on those of $3.47. That's like a small meal at McDonald's. Like you could get a full meal for $3.47 at McDonald's with that money. So I'm not gonna be mad about it. The next pair of Lucky Brand shoes to sell was this pair of brown suede slip-on moccasins with like the kilty. I don't know what it's called. I learned about it from Chelsea's channel, Monarch Alley. The little the like leather strips that you see on top of some shoes. Those were in a size 9. I had gotten them at that local consignment store for under $1, and they sold for $25, and so I made a profit of $19.20. I think I had them listed for $30 or $35, and I got an offer of $25, and so I accepted. And then the last pair of Lucky Brand shoes to sell was actually a full price sale. It was this pair of ivory leather Emmy flats in a size 9. Their Emmy style flats sell so fast usually. Like mine took 27 days to sell, which is like a little bit longer than they typically take. But if you price them well, between like $20 to $25, they usually sell so fast. So I had mine listed for $25. I had gotten a few offers on them for like 13, like 15, and I kept saying no because I knew that they would sell at least for 20. And so I did finally have someone come along and buy them at my full asking price of $25. I had $5.63 into them, and I made a profit on those of $14.37. On Mercari, I sold another thing that was just kind of taking up space in my house. It was this New with Tags Bath and Body Works Diamond Shimmer Mist, so just like a body spray. And the scent was Perfect Peony. Is that the right way to say that? I know it's like a flower, but I guess I've never heard someone say it out loud. I'll write it right here. How do you say that? Anyway, it only retailed for $15.50, but I listed it for like $15 just because I was like, I don't know, we'll see what happens. And I had them paying for shipping. It sold for $12 because I use smart pricing on Mercari. So Mercari will slowly drop the price of your item to the bottom floor price that you set for it. So mine dropped to $12. Someone bought it outright, and I made a profit of $10.15. My friend gave that to me. She gave me some other stuff that I paid her for, but this she just kind of threw in for free. And then another thing that sold on Mercari this day was another pink Victoria's Secret item, and it was this pink colored sequin tank top. It sold for $12, and I believe that was just an outright sale as well because I allowed the price to drop to that amount. I had 80 cents into that because it came from the local consignment store. So I made a profit on that item of $9.35. And then I had another Facebook Marketplace sale. This was this pair of steel toe brown leather Wellington work boots in a size 9W. My friend G1 used to go thrifting for me because she loved thrifting but didn't want to actually go through the work of selling stuff on her own. Now she sells and she's killing it. She was at a local thrift store that we love, and she FaceTimed me and she's like, do you want me to get you these boots? I had remembered seeing them at the thrift store and I had left them behind, and I think maybe when she got them they were on sale or something, but they were not in the best condition. There had been an oil spill on them or something. There was a big stain on top. There was no brand name. It just said steel toe on the side, but no brand name that I could figure out. And I don't know. I was just sure, just get them. I think she paid $5 for them. They sold for $35 on Facebook Marketplace within a day of being listed. I mean, most steel-toed work boots will go for well over $50, but because mine had no brand, because, there was a stain and stuff all over them, I was I'm just going to list them kind of low. Within a day, $35 plus someone paid for shipping. And not only that, but on Facebook Marketplace, in that day, they had over 500 views. That's not 500 people scrolled past it and saw it. That's 500 people clicked on the listing because they wanted a closer look at it. I had 2 people who were talking to me about those boots, and the first person to reach out actually asked me, do you speak Spanish? And I responded with un poco. And then he just started sending rapid fire messages in Spanish, but all I did was copy and paste them and put them into Google Translate, and then I would type out how I wanted to respond using Google Translate, and I would send it back to him. And I knew enough to know kind of what he was asking me as he was sending it in to me, but I just wanted to make sure. And so anything that he asked, I was able to get translated and I was able to answer. And through that, we were able to make the sale, and it was really cool. The other person who had messaged me about them was ready to buy too, but he was going into a larger town that day and he wanted to try on boots in that same size because he just wanted to make sure that it was the right size. And I even told him, I was I just want you to be aware that I'm talking to someone else who seems pretty serious about buying these boots too. And he was okay, if the other person ends up buying them, that's totally fine. I'm sure he thought I was lying to make up a story to try to get him to buy these boots. And I'm sure I've probably done that before, but it was the truth this time. And so the Spanish speaking person was able to purchase them before the other person. And I was just dumbfounded at how quickly these sold. So if you find steel-toed work boots that are in whatever kind of condition, list them, especially on Facebook Marketplace, because over 500 views in 24 hours. Insane. That's crazy. Moving on to Sunday, which was May 9th, I sold this pair of Todd's leather strappy thong slide-on sandals in a size 6. Todd's is a great brand, so expensive retail. I was so excited when I found these 2 summers ago at a church garage sale or a big church yard sale type thing. I paid $1 for them. These suckers have been listed forever, and they are kind of damaged. one of the straps is whatever. They're kind of damaged. And I obviously, took pictures of the flaws and disclosed them. These have been on quite the journey as well. They were listed forever, and then I sent them into Thredup, and then Thredup didn't accept them. I think I tried sending them into Thredup twice, and both times Thredup was like, nah, we're not taking these. So finally, after the second time, I just went ahead and listed them again. And after being listed, 2 times after going back and forth to Thredup, they sold 63 days later for $22 using my closet clear out method. So I made a profit of $16.60, and it only took, 2 years. So there you are. I definitely still get kind of like blinded by brands, like if I see a brand name that I'm super excited about, I don't even see what the item is. I'm just like Tuds or, whatever it is. And I don't really look over the item as well as I should. And I probably, even if I had noticed that flaw, I would have picked these up for $1, but I think I just had them listed too high because I was like, they're Tuds, they're great. They weren't. They had a flaw. The next thing to sell was this Banana Republic gray pinstripe sports coat in a size 42R. This had been listed for 228 days. Should have relisted it. And it sold for $20. I probably had like $10 into that because I bought it off of a friend. We worked out like a consignment deal. So I probably only made a profit on that item of $6. I also despise selling blazers, sports coats, that sort of thing for men. I don't know what it is about them. I hate them. So I was just happy to get rid of this. The next thing to sell on Poshmark, I was so happy about because number one, I was so excited about this piece. And number two, it sold to a viewer named Catherine. So Catherine, thank you so much. She's pretty new to Poshmark and said that she's been watching my videos and learning a ton. So thank you so much for watching and for this amazing purchase. It was this Johnny Was brown embroidered boho crochet tunic in a size extra small. This had been listed for 103 days and it sold to Catherine for $60 using my closet clear out method. So again, because the selling price was over $50, she should have gotten a slightly higher shipping discount than, anything under $50. And I had $5.63 into this. That was my average cost of goods on that consignment store trip. However, I do remember that for this particular item, I paid up. I want to say I paid like $25 for it. And that's why my cost of goods that day was so high, was because of this one particular item. But, I did do my average cost of goods. And so I ended up making a profit on that item of $42.37. It was my first time seeing Johnny Was at a thrift store or consignment store. And that's one of the reasons why I got it. And I just thought it was so lovely. And so I'm really happy that that is going to Catherine. And Catherine, I hope you love it. And then on eBay, I sold this new with tags White House Black Market draped sleeveless metallic top. It had like kind of a metallic neckline in a size extra small. This had been given to me for free from a friend at church, the same friend who gave me the other White House Black Market top that sold on Thredup. This sold for $21.99. That was because of my 10% discount sale, and they paid for shipping. I made $18.71. When this sold, I started freaking out because I was like, oh my God, like this is not in my possession. I was certain that I had sent it in to Thredup and hadn't gotten it back yet. But thankfully it was just listed on eBay and I had just forgotten to like cross-list it anywhere else. So I did have it in my possession, which was great because I hate, when I can't find something that has sold on eBay, because eBay will ding you. It really hurts your account if you have to cancel a transaction because of an error that you made. The next thing to sell was this Polo by Ralph Lauren gray slim fit crew neck t-shirt in a size extra small, like the most basic thing in the entire world. I got it in a men's Thredup rescue box, so I have about $3 into it. It sold for $13.19. That was promoted at 1% and that was with free shipping. So I made a profit on that item of $5.05. It's another McDonald's meal right there. There you go. The next thing to sell was a pair of new with tags cool Contra Air 8-inch inseam shorts in a size 42 for men. I sold these for $48.39 because of my sale. They were promoted at 1%. That was with free shipping. And I did have $12.80 into those because that was retail arbitrage. I only have maybe like 4 or 5 pairs of cool bottoms left. I'm so sad. And probably one of the first places that I will go once I sell 500 items is to that store to see if they have more cool pieces. But I made a profit on that item of $24.77. And then I sold this pair of J. Crew Factory Slim Bedford khaki chinos in a size 31 by 32. I had less than $1 into these, and I think I had them listed at like $25. Someone sent me a $10 offer, and I was like, no. But, I countered a little bit. They came up to 12, and then I was like, honestly, I'm just going to let them go because they did have a flaw on the back of one of the legs, like kind of the beginnings of a hole. And I was just trying to get rid of as much stuff as possible. They were promoted at 1%. They paid for shipping. So I made a profit of $10.94 on those pair of pants. And then on Thredup, I ended the week with 3 sales. The first item to sell was another White House Black Market sale. It was this pair of black patent leather wedges in a size 6. They sold for $44.99 and my payout was $12.38. These were a much older style of shoe. I had no desire to even try listing them. The same friend of mine who kept giving me all that White House Black Market, which I sold a lot of this week, she's the one that gave me those. Like literally there were 2 or 3 boxes that I got from her over quarantine that were just shoes. A ton of them still on the box, and I would say like 70% of them were from White House Black Market. So pure profit. Gotta love it. The next thing to sell was this J. Jill sleeveless floral dress in a size large. This sold for $34.99 on Thredup. I did have less than $1 into it because I got it at that local consignment store with the intention of sending it into Thredup. And I made a profit on that dress of $7.08. And then the last thing to sell was this new with tags Current Elliott gauzy white blouse in a size 1. This sold for $49.99 at Thredup, and I had about $4 into it. I picked it up at I want to say Ross. I don't have a lot of luck at Ross. I know some people go there and get like amazing things, but my Ross does not have amazing things. And I was a little excited about this when I got it because the retail on this was like over $100. But when I got it home, I saw that there was some flaws like on the sleeve. And so I just sent it into Thredup and they accepted it and sold it and the person didn't return it. So there you go. I made a profit on that item of $8. Not huge, not what I was looking for, but I hadn't noticed the flaw. One thing I will say about Thredup is while, I do sell through a decent number of the items that I send in there, a lot of the items get returned. It's really frustrating. So, I'll get really excited about a sale and then I'll check on it like a few days later and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like the return has been initiated. So, but I've got some things that have sold pretty recently over there that I'm excited about and I'm just crossing my fingers that they don't get returned. So we'll see what happens. So let's go through my numbers. On Poshmark, I sold 20 items, which is like pretty average. Like it's not bad and it's definitely better than what some weeks have looked like. And that was for a gross sales amount of $467. Once you factor in fees and shipping and all that kind of stuff, I made $412.70. My cost of goods on those 20 items was $54.11. And so my net profit from Poshmark was $358.59 for the week. On eBay, I sold 13 items for a gross sales of $276.77. If you factor in shipping and fees, that drops the total to $233.80. My cost of goods on those 13 items was $26.88. And so I made a net profit of $206.92. On Mercari, I sold 4 items, which is huge for me. Mercari, if I even get a sale over there per week, it's pretty exciting. But I sold 4 items for a total of $59. Once you factor in fees, that total drops to $50.18. My cost of goods on those 4 items was only $1.60. And so I made a profit of $48.58. One thing I will say for Mercari though, is they have a great referral program. Like if someone signs up using my link, you get like an initial $10 or something if they sign up. But then once they like make a purchase or once they sell something, you just keep getting more credit from Mercari. And I think you can make up to like $100 per person that signs up. It's kind of wild. And if you're not on Mercari yet, on that note, if you're not on Mercari yet and you want to try it out, I do have a link for it down below. I have a link for all of my platforms that you can check out. There are a lot of links in my YouTube video descriptions, but you can check that one out because their referral program is good. And then on Facebook Marketplace, I also sold 4 things. It was a really good Facebook Marketplace week for me. And that was for a gross sales amount of $97. So more than Mercari, almost double the amount. And once you factor in in fees, that total drops to $89.93. And then my cost of goods on those 4 items was $12.03. So I made a net profit on Facebook Marketplace of $77.90. On Thredup, I also sold 4 items. They received $169.96 for those items, but my payout was $42.26. My cost of goods on those 4 items was $4.80. And so I made a profit of $37.46 on Thredup. I sold 4 items directly to Chelsea from Monarch Alley, and that was for $50. And my cost of goods for those 4 items was $9.70. So my net profit on those 4 items was $40.30. And then at Plato's, I sold 53 items for $119.93. And I'll have a video about that coming out at the end of the week where I show you every single item that I brought them, and I show you which items they ended up taking and which items they didn't. And for the items that they didn't take, I share with you what I plan on doing with those items. So if you're interested in that, definitely make sure that you hit that notification bell if you haven't already, so that you are alerted when that video is uploaded. So in total, I sold 102 items this past week. Again, we're factoring in the Plato sales, which of course I'm going to count. And that brought me to a gross sales amount of $1,069.70. And if you factor in, shipping and fees and all that kind of stuff, that drops the total to $998.80. My cost of goods for those 102 items was $109.12. And so my net profit for last week was $889.68, which makes me really happy because it's $200 more than the weekly goal that I've set for myself of like $667 or something like that. So like I shared in this video, I am not going to go sourcing again until I have sold 500 items. And in 36 days, I have sold 292 items. So we're on our way. It's within my reach. I can see the finish line. But I took my son to gymnastics today, and the consignment store that I go to all the time, a lot of these sales were from that consignment store. They had all these racks out of clothing that were on sale. And I was like, I just want to look, but I refrained. I'm already so excited about the epic thrift trip that I'm going to have once I sell my 500 items. But anyway, the last numbers that I'll share with you are the numbers from that consignment store where I was able to shop by the bag in bulk. It's been close to a year now since I went there and, was sourcing in bulk. And since that time, I've sold 531 of their pieces for a total of $10,307.97. That's pretty amazing that I was able to make that much off of one consignment store, and it is a place that I still like to frequent. So those were my sales for the week. I would love to hear from you as well. How is the month of May going for you? Is it starting to slow down yet? Is it still doing pretty well? Let me know, because I'm genuinely curious. If you really enjoy What Sold videos, I have an entire playlist with a lot more, over 100 What Sold videos. So if you want to binge on those, I will have that playlist linked in the description below for your viewing pleasure. But that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!